This
Uh,
conference will now be recorded.
the loop is nothing but okay. So loops. Right. So let me make this. Okay. So a loop is nothing but a program structure. A program structure that will make a statement or statements execute. Okay, so the program structure. So what is a loop? A loop is a program structure that will make a statement or statement execute for specific number of times. A specific number of times. Okay, so for specific number of times. So what we are going to do here? So we are going to make. So we are going to make a program execution. Okay, so program execution to repeat basically. Okay, so to repeat, so that is what is known as a loop. Okay, so in Python we have two types of loops. In Python we have two types of loop. First one is while loop and second one is for loop. So while loop and for loop. So when we are talking about a while loop, okay, so when we are talking about a while loop, so a while loop is nothing but a kind of a loop that start at a point, start at a point, that start at a point and goes on, goes on with a step until the end point, until the end point. So what I'm trying to talk about here. So for example, so now I want to print 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. So what is the start point here? So start point is going to be 1. Okay. So what is 1 here? So 1 is the start point. Start at a point, as I told you. 1 goes on with a step. So this is nothing but a step. 1 plus 1. So this is a start point, and this is the step, and this is going to be the next value again plus 1, you get 3. So this is also step, and plus 1, this is also step, and so you get 4, again plus 1, you get step, again you say 5. Okay, so so the step will be executing. Okay, so again and again. Okay, step will be executing again and again until it reaches the end point, until it reaches the end point. So that is the basic idea over here. Okay, so in programming, how we will do all this stuff? Okay, so in Python, the while loop, the while loop can be designed using the following syntax. Using the following syntax. So what is the syntax of the while loop? So we will write initialization. Initialization is nothing but the start point. Okay. Initialization, and you have, okay, so let me do one thing here. Let me include a table where I will say a syntax. So and here I will talk about the flow chart, and here I will give you a simple example. Okay, so initialization we have a while. Okay, so we will go for a condition, and in that condition we can have some statements. Okay, and in that we will have the step also. So step, or we also call it as update. Okay, so we also call it as update. Okay, So that's how it goes. Now, for example, uh, okay, so the flow chart, if I have to say, so you have the program start, you have the program initialization, and you have the program condition, condition. So condition is true. You have the statements. Okay, so statements, and then you will have the step or updates, and again you have the condition, and you have the condition. Okay, so true. So you have the statements, you have the updates. Okay, so this process will go on until the condition becomes false, until the condition becomes false. So what is the point here? So we start at a point, we keep the initialization, and after initialization you have a condition, you have a condition, and that condition will become either true or false. If it is true, the statements will continue, and next step updates, and then next condition. Okay, now for example, if I say, so if I say print 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so you have to print 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So if you have to print 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, so how can I write this basically? Okay, so always initialization means the start point. So start point, I will say I is equal to 1. Okay, so I is equal to 1. Then I will say while. Okay, so while w small. So while I less than or equal to 5. So this is the condition. Okay. So I must be starting with 1, and I should be less than or equal to 5. 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 Okay. So that is the point here. It will start at 1, and it will go on until it is less than or equal to 5. So once it goes to 6, it will be the end of the loop. Okay, so like that you can say. And then here I will just print the value of I. Print the value of I, and then I will say I is equal to I plus 1. Okay, so I is equal to I plus 1. Okay, so what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to have this I value. So let me put it over here. So I is equal to 1, I is less than or equal to 5. So print of I is equal to I plus 1. So simply what will get printed? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 gets printed. So why I will get these things printed, I'll tell you. So as you can see here, so we observe that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So how exactly this works? Okay, so how exactly this works, I'll tell you. So if you look at here, okay, so I is equal to 1. Okay, I is equal to 1, and then you are saying condition. What is the condition? I less than or equal to 5, and then you are saying true here. So true, so you are printing the value of I. Okay, so you're printing the value of I, and what is the step over here? Step is nothing but I is equal to I plus 1. So here you are going for true. So I value here I is equal to I plus 1, and again the condition gets checked. Again the condition gets checked. So again it will say true or false, and depending on that it will go on. Okay. Now for example, how it goes. Okay. So first I value is 1, so 1 is checked against the 5. If it is true, I will be printed. Okay, so I is equal to I plus 1. So I value is increased by 1. So I becomes 2. Then 2 less than or equal to 5 is checked. So if it is 2 less than or equal to 5, it is also correct. So it is also correct. So it is also true. So then 2 gets printed. Then again I is equal to I plus 1 means the value of I becomes 3. So I is equal to I plus 1. Simply I is equal to I plus 1. So 2 plus 1 is going to be 3. Okay, so 3. That is why you are getting 3. So then again it will check 3 less than or equal to 5. This is also true. So it will print 3 value. Then I is equal to I plus 1. So I is equal to I plus 1. So what is I value? I value is 3 plus 1, which is 4. So I value becomes 4. So again 4 less than or equal to 5, true only. So true means again 4 will be printed. Then again you have I is equal to I plus 1. So I is equal to I plus 1 means what is I value? 4. 4 plus 1 is nothing but 5. So I value is going to be 5 now. Okay, so again 5 less than or equal to 5, that is also right. So it will print the 5 value. Next I is equal to I plus 1. So what is I value now? I value is 5. 5 plus 1 is going to be 6. So I value is going to be 6. Okay, so then you can see 6 less than or equal to 5, which is false. So false means so you simply come out and end up giving this output. So this is the output basically. Okay, so this is the output that you can see. Okay, so in this way the while loop works. Okay, so now for example, not only printing the value of I, so we can also, okay, we can also print something like Python. So how many times Python will be printed? So obviously Python will be printed 5 times. Okay, so Python will be printed 5 times. So if you want the combination of Python as well as the number means, so if you want as well as the number means, so you are going for I value. So you are saying something like this. Okay, so I value. So simply what you are saying here. So Python 1 2 3 4 5. So I value if you want to use, you can use. Otherwise, you can get away. So now, for example, I want 5 4 3 2 1. Okay, so what I want now? 5 4 3 2 1. Okay, so 5 4 3 2 1. If I want, okay, so if I want 5 4 3 2 1. So what kind of loop I can write? So I should start at 5 and I should say while I greater than or equal to 1. Okay, so then I will say print of I. Okay, here I want to print only I value. Okay, so print of I, and then I is equal to I minus 1. I is equal to I minus 1. So 5 4 3 2 1. So in this way, you are going to print the numbers in the reverse also. Okay, so you are saying I greater than or equal to 1. So print of that I value. I is equal to I minus 1 means 5 minus 1. Okay, so 5 minus 1. So first value will be 5, then the next value will be 5 minus 1. Next 4 minus 1, next 3 minus 1, and next 1 minus 1. So in this way, you are going to look at the uh, values that are getting printed from, so that are printed from 5 to 1, which is nothing but the reverse order. Okay, so nothing but the reverse order we are printing. Okay, right. So now if you are looking at, okay, some calculated programs. Okay, so find the sum of the first 5 natural numbers. So I want to get the sum of the first 5 natural numbers. So what are the first 5 natural numbers? 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4 comma 5. So I want to have 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5. I want the answer to be 15. Okay, so 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4 comma 5. So I want the answer to be 15. So what exactly I need to do over here. So I need to work with, okay, so I need to work with the uh, values, each and every value, and add that value. Add that value to the previous value. Add that value to the previous value. But initially, I should have a number which is going to be 0. Okay, so initially I will have a number which is nothing but 0. So that 0 is getting added with each and every number. Okay, so what exactly I'm trying to say here? Now if you observe, I need to take the addition values from 1 to 5. So first of all, I need to create I is equal to 1 while I less than or equal to 5, and I should say some value. Okay, so I should say some value which is equal to 0. So some value which is equal to 0, and I will say Sm is equal to Sm plus I. Sm is equal to Sm plus I. Okay, and I will say I is equal to I plus 1. Okay, and finally I have to print the value of sum. So simply what I'm doing here, I'm getting 15. So how I'm going to get this 15 value over? Let's understand. So let's understand how we got the value 15 over here. So if I am writing this, okay, so if I'm writing like this, so now what you're looking at here, you are looking at I value which is 1, Sm value which is 0. Okay, so now I is less than or equal to 5 means 1 is less than or equal to 5. So the answer is true. So true means you have to go inside. So after going inside, what you find here, Sm is equal to Sm plus I. So Sm is equal to Sm plus I. So what is Sm value? 0. So 0 plus I. So what is I value here? I value is 1. So 0 plus 1 is going to be 1. Now Sm value is going to be 1. Sm value is going to be 1. Then you have I is equal to I plus 1. So I value is increased by 1. So what is I value now? I value is 0 plus 1, which is going to be 1. So Sm is equal to 1, and I also, sorry, 1 plus 1, right? So I is equals 1, so 1 plus 1 is going to be 2. So I value becomes 2. I value becomes 2, right? Okay, then again you need to check this value. Again you need to check this value. What is that value now? 2 less than or equal to 5. So this is also correct. Correct means again you come inside. So then you say Sm is equal to Sm plus I. So Sm is equal to Sm plus I. So what is Sm value? Sm value is 1. So 1 plus 2. So 1 plus 2 Sm is going to be 3. Okay, is going to be 3, right? Then then I is equal to I plus 1. So what is I is equal to I plus 1 here? What is I value? I value is 2 plus 1. I value becomes 3. Okay, so I value becomes 3. So I value has become 3. Next one. Again I will check. So 3 less than or equal to 5. So this is also right. So also right means again I'll come inside and I'll say Sm is equal to Sm plus I. What is Sm value here? Sm value is 2. 2 plus, sorry, 3. 3 plus 3. So what is 3 plus 3? 3 plus 3 is going to be 6. So Sm value becomes 6. Okay. Next, I is equal to I plus. So what is I value? I value is going to be 3. So 3 plus 1, it is going to be 4. So I value becomes 4. I value becomes 4. Okay, so then again it will check 4 less than or equal to 5. So 4 less than or equal to 5 is true. So true means again you come inside. So then you can go for Sm is equal to Sm plus A. What is Sm? Sm is going to be 5. Sorry, Sm is going to, yeah, 6. Sm is going to be 6. So 6 plus 4 going to be 10. Now Sm value became 10. Sm value became 10. Okay. Then what about I value? I is equal to I plus 1. What is I value actually? 4 plus 1. I value becomes 5. Okay. So then again 5 is less than or equal to 5. So it may not be lesser, but it is equal. Okay. That is also true. So true means again you come inside and again you do Sm is equal to Sm plus I. So what is Sm value? Sm value is going to be 10 plus 5. So 10 plus 5 is going to be 15. So Sm value becomes 15. Okay. Then again I is equal to I plus 1. What is I value? 5. Okay. So 5 plus 1 is going to be 6. Okay. Now if somebody is trying to have 6 greater than or equal to 5. If 6 is greater than or equal, less than or equal to 5, this is going to be false. So false means you don't do anything, come out of the if. As you come out of the if, you are looking at print of Sm, which is nothing but 50. Nothing but 50. So in that way, you are going to have the things into consideration. Okay, so this is how we can find the sum of the first five natural numbers, and this process will be the same if you are finding the sum of 10 numbers, sum of 15 numbers, sum of 100 numbers also. So the process will be the same. Okay, so process will be the same. So that's how you are looking at. So you are looking at what? So you are looking at the while loop for addition of the first five natural numbers. So we are looking at the addition of first five natural numbers basically. Okay. Right. So now we will just try and understand some more programs here. So we're trying to understand some more programs. So now, okay. So let me go for a program which will be used to. First, let us be familiar with the loop. Find the factorial of the number of the given number of the given number. So now if somebody is saying 5 factorial, so what is its value? Its value is 120. So when somebody is giving 5, you should give the value of 120. So what is the logic that we write over here? So we'll see. So first let me take a number. N is equal to int of input of enter any number. It is equal to int of input of enter any number. So I want you people to enter or to get any number. Okay. So okay. So you got a number, and then what you have to do? You have to go for the factorial. So what is factorial basically? Factorial is nothing but suppose 5 factorial. 5 factorial is nothing but 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now it is similar to addition basically. Okay, so it is similar to addition. So you are going for 5 into 4. So instead of 5 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1, you are doing multiplication. Okay. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So you are multiplying those numbers. So starting from 5 and ending at 1. So this is a descending order. As this is a descending order, what we can do is, okay, so while So n, so n is reaching 1, n is reaching 1. So while n greater than or equal to 1, okay, so while n greater than or equal to 1, okay, so it is going the opposite direction, going the opposite direction. And then here you can say products, or I can say factorial is equal to, so factorial is equal to 1. So instead of 0, we will say factorial is equal to 1. Okay, so factorial is equal to 1. So instead of saying 0, so for some anyhow we are calling it as 0, but for this, so you don't have to uh, do that. Okay, so you have to say factorial is equal to 1. So you need to start multiplying with 1. Okay, so that's the point. Okay, so then we will talk about, so while n greater than or equal to 1, so now we will talk about something like uh, fct is equal to fct into n. Okay, fct into n. So we are multiplying that values. Okay, and finally we go for n is equal to n minus 1. Means it is a decreasing order. So you want decreasing order. So decreasing order, that is why you are giving this and you are giving this, and you are saying n is equal to n minus 1. Okay. So now finally you will get the factorial. So you will just say print and you will say FCT. So what is FCT here? FCT is nothing but the FCTR. So FCTR is nothing but the factorial. Okay. So simply I will run this. Now if you observe, okay, let me put this over here. So let me run this. Now enter a number. So I'll enter 5. This. So enter a number 5. So you are getting the answer as 120. So 5 factorial is 120. So how this execution has taken place, I'll tell you. So now let's say I have, let's analyze the program. So input of enter a number. So what you are doing here, you are just saying 5. So 5, actually 5 is a string. As you are converting that into integer, so it will become a number. It will become a number. So now what is the n value? N value is going to be 5. And then what is the fact value? Okay, out of the FCTR value. So FCTR value is going to be, FCTR value is going to be 1. So rather than 0, you have to take 1. Okay, so there is no way that you have to take 0 here. So if 0 you take, all the numbers will become 0. Okay, so that is why you don't take 0. So you can take 1. Okay, so here n greater than or equal to 1. So that is 5 greater than or equal to 1. Yes, it is. So it is greater than or equal to 1. Fine. And then FCTR is equal to FCTR into N. So what is FCTR value here? FCTR value is nothing but 1 into, what is the F value? So what is this value here? Uh, so the value is going to be 1 into 5. So FCTR value is going to be 5. Okay. So FCTR value is going to be 5. Okay. Then n is equal to n minus 1. So n is equal to n minus 1. So what is n value? 5. 5 minus 1 is going to be 4. So what is n value now? N value becomes 4. Okay, so n value becomes 4. As n value becomes 4, again I need to check. 4 greater than or equal to 1. So this is also true. This is also true. So true means again you go inside. FCTR is equal to FCTR into N. So it is actually 5. FCTR is equal to FCTR into N. So what is FCTR value? 5. So 5 into 4. What is 5 into 4 actually? 20. So what is the N value now? N. What is FCTR value now? FCTR value is 20. FCTR value is 20. Okay. Right. So then again you said N is equal to N minus 1. So what is N value here? N value is 4. 4 minus 1 is going to be 3. So what is N value? N value becomes 3. Okay, so N value becomes 3. Right, next. So next again you are checking 3 greater than or equal to 1. So 3 greater than or equal to 1 is again true. True means you are going inside and you are saying FCTR is equal to FCTR into N. So what is FCTR here? FCTR is 20. What is the N value here? 3. So 23 is 60. So FCTR value becomes 60. Okay. So FCTR value becomes 60. Then you can go for the next value. So what is the next value? Next value is N. So N is equal to N minus 1. N is equal to N minus 1. So what is the N value here? N value is 3. 3 minus 1 is going to be 2. So N value became 2. N value became 2. So 2 is greater than or equal to 1. That's also true. So then again you have FCTR is equal to FCTR into N. So what is FCTR now? So FCTR is number 60. N is going to be 2. So answer is 120. So this answer is 120. Okay. Next, it will be with N. What will N do? N is equal to N minus 1. So N is equal to N. So what is N here? N is going to be 2 minus 1. So what is 2 minus 1? 2 minus 1 is going to be 1. So N 1. Okay. N is 1. 1 is greater than or equal to 1. True. So true means again FCTR is equal to FCTR into N. So what is FCTR now? FCTR is 120, N is 1. So 120 is 1 is 120. So again 120. So you can skip that 1 also. So you can simply say N greater than 1. So that also you can say. So then that equal to won't work out. Okay, so greater than 1 is also okay. So you are decreasing one level of iteration. Okay, so then you are having 120. So what is this 120? So 120 is the final value, but before that, again you need to check. Okay, so n became 1. So n, uh, sorry, n became, next is n is equal to n minus 1. So 1 minus 1 is 0. So n became 0. So next it will check. So it will check whether 0 is greater than or equal to 1. So it is false. So false means it will come out. So in this way, you are going to work with the factorial program using the while loop. Using the while loop. So whenever you are talking about the while, so you can say that. So we are working with this element. So we're working with the loop based elements, so which help us in looping over. Okay, so while, okay, so you're having the updation, okay, all that. Okay. So one note we will write before going to some more examples in our next class. Note. We need to be careful. We need to be careful with the updates or the step. We need to be careful with the update or the step, as it may lead to, we need to be careful with the update or the step, as it may lead to infinite loop, since a wrong update since a wrong update may make the condition make the condition always true. Okay, so this is the wrong update will make the condition always true. Now for example, uh, you can take the same. Okay, so or else you can take this. Now I want to print 1 to 5. Let's say now I want to print 1 to 5. I have written. Okay, just a moment. Okay, so we need to be careful as I told you. So now let's say I want to print 5 to 1. So if I'm saying I is equal to 5, and I will say, uh, so I will say I less than or equal to 5. Okay, so what I'm doing here, I'm saying I less than or equal to 5, and I'll say I plus plus. Okay, so I plus plus. Now if you observe here, it is not printing anything because the answer is okay. I'll say print of I. So right, it is printing only 5 because 1 is there. Suppose some way I will make I less than or equal to 5. Now tell me what is happening here. It is going into infinite loop. So this is an infinite loop. So it is going into infinite loop. So why? Because I is equal to I minus 1 is making this condition true always. Okay, is making this condition true always. So that is how we get the infinite loop. So like this, it will go into the infinite loop. Okay, so it will go into the infinite loop. So this is the example for the infinite loop. Okay, so it is the example for the it will go on. So this will be always true. Okay, I is equal to I minus 1. So 5 minus 1 will be 4. 4 is less than or equal to 5. So then 3 is less than or equal to 5. 1 is less than or equal to 5. 0 is less than or equal to 5. Okay. So all these values are less than or equal to 5. So in this way, you are going to get the things. Okay. So that's it. So we will have some more examples, some more examples of the while loop in our next session. Okay. Okay. Thank you.